What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video and for my next movie review, I'm going to be talking about a movie that I saw a while back, and I just now have the time to review it. But this movie is a big movie. It came out in 1989, and it really sparked a big interest. It made a big comeback for comic book movies for sure. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about the 1989 Batman film. So, this Batman film was directed by Tim Burton. Tim Burton, obviously well known for so many films that he's directed. You know, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and more. I mean, he's a prolific director for sure. So this is Batman is really the first, not the first live, what I would consider the second movie adaptation of the second live-action movie adaptation of Batman. I don't count, because there were film serials in the 1940s. I just don't count serials as films. That's just me. So, the first film that came out for Batman was, the first prominent film, I should say, at least, is the Adam West Batman film that came out in the 60s. The Adam West Batman, of course, for those of you who don't know, Batman was a TV series in the 60s with Adam West as Batman. And I'll say this, I mean, I'm going to review the movie at some point, but I will say this. That show is so dumb, but it is so good. But it is ridiculously dumb. It's so campy. You know, it's such a campy film series for sure. Or it's such a campy TV show and then a movie. This Batman movie is not really that campy. A little bit maybe, but not as campy as the 60s Batman. So, Michael Keaton stars as Bruce Wayne / Batman. And an interesting thing about Michael Keaton, he was not considered, when people heard that, oh, Michael Keaton's going to be Batman, when people heard about that, not a lot of people liked it. A lot of people were opposed to that because Michael Keaton at the time was known for a lot of comedic roles. Movies like Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice, you know, movies that, had a lot of Michael Keaton comedic timing in them. So, kind of a serious, semi-serious type Batman film, a lot of people didn't think he'd be that good at it. More on that later. Jack Nicholson stars as the Joker in this film. And let me tell you something. Jack Nicholson, it's just the fact that he had a... Yeah, the fact that he... earlier films in his career, he, Jack Nicholson was known for playing that crazy guy, crazy, over-the-top, type characters and all that. So looking at it, he was a perfect fit for the Joker. Some other names that were in for the Joker: Tim Curry, David Bowie. I think Tim Curry would have made a good Joker, by the way. John Lithgow probably would have made a pretty good Joker. David Bowie, probably, I would say so. James Woods, he'd be crazy enough, I think. So those four were considered for the Joker. But the one that would probably have been the best fit would have been Robin Williams, because Robin Williams was considered for the Joker. Did not get it, though, obviously, with Jack Nicholson getting it. Nicholson, for the film, required a big contract. So he got paid a lot of money, I believe, for this film. For Batman, there's a lot of people that got, a lot of people that were recommended. Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, Charlie Sheen. Imagine Charlie Sheen as Batman. Wow, I couldn't really. That Batman would have been very, very campy. Tom Selleck, Bill Murray, Harrison Ford, Dennis Quaid. A who's who of great Hollywood A-list superstars, were recommended for the Batman role. And then you have Michael Keaton that comes in, who was a star in his own right, but, but I mean, it was, it was pretty good. Anyway, like I said, a lot of people did not think that Michael Keaton would made a good Batman and all that. Some other characters in the film: Kim Basinger plays, let's see, Vicky Vale, reporter. Robert Wool, Pat Hingle. An interesting fact: Pat Hingle plays Commissioner Gordon. And Pat Hingle would play Commissioner Gordon in the 3 preceding Batman films, live-action Batman films. Michael Gough, or Michael Gough, however you pronounce the last name, plays Alfred Pennyworth, Batman's butler. He would play Alfred for the final 3, the next 3 Batman films that were live-action. So those are pretty much the big characters. Billy D. Williams plays Harvey Dent. Billy D. Williams, best known as Lando Calrissian in Star Wars. But yeah, that's pretty much the main cast. So in this film, Batman has to, essentially what the plot is we see Batman, we see the, kind of the origin, kind of a bit of an origin story of how Batman came to be. And you see that right in the beginning of this film, for sure, I'm not going to spoil too much of it for you, but you see the origin story. You see how Batman became the superhero that he was, I'd call him kind of an anti-hero, kind of a vigilante, because of the way his origin story panned out. So, the main focus of this movie is that Batman has to defeat a new force in town, the Joker. He has to defeat the Joker, has to stop him from creating havoc in Gotham City and killing a lot of people. And he does that with the help of Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, and several others as well. But yeah, that is pretty much the main plot of this film. And now on to the characters. I will say first off, the big standout in this movie was Jack Nicholson as the Joker. He was a phenomenally perfect fit for this film, for the Joker. He really was. In the 60s, Cesar Romero played the Joker. And for that time period, for that style of Batman, he was a great fit. For this style of Batman, Jack Nicholson was a great fit. And, he was so effective. He was the star of this film. Which is a shame because the film's called Batman. But Michael Keaton did a good job as Batman. He really did. I think he's one of the best Batmans that we've had. And, just the fact he is You know, he really brought something to Michael Keaton. Really brought something to Batman. You know, really brought an emotional complexity to Batman for sure. What you need basically for Batman and all that, and he brought that. So that's a big plus. Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale does a good job. You know, she does a pretty good job for her character. Um, you know, some of the little characters. Michael Gow as Alfred does a good job for that type of film. You know, for the type of Batman that they're going for. He does a pretty good job. And Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. This would be his biggest Batman role. This and Batman and Robin probably is where Commissioner Gordon gets a lot of screen time. Some screen time. He doesn't get a lot in the two Batman Returns and Batman Forever. By the way, Batman Returns is the sequel to Batman. Then Batman Returns is followed by Batman Forever. And then Batman Forever is followed by Batman and Robin. And this is in the initial Batman series. This isn't the Dark Knight trilogy. So, that's different. But yeah, my overall impression of the film is that I really enjoyed it. You know, I really enjoyed this film. It was a good, intriguing watch. Jack Nicholson, again, I mean, just does a great job as the Joker. Kind of a shame that he is the star of the film. He is the big standout. I mean, you'd like to think, you know, Batman would be the big standout in Batman, but the Joker's the big standout for me. But that's just a testament to Jack Nicholson and his incredible acting. Chops, you know, guy's won 3 Academy Awards. So that says something right there. But yeah, this again, this movie was very good, a very good watch. You know, kept me intrigued. I would give this a 4 out of 5 for me, a grade of 4 for very good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Very good. Jack Nicholson is the Joker, great. You know, Michael Keaton does a good job as Batman in his first go-around. And, yeah, the movie was very good. And that is it for my review on the original 1989 Batman. D-Rock 1992 out.